everyone, I'm Grace Nolan. I'm so glad you could join me for my book launch. I've been waiting to share my book with you, 10 Naughty Numbats. It's one of 3 books in a series called 1 to 10 and Back Again, and it's all about helping children to learn to count to 10. Book 2 is 10 Bush Babies, which helps children to add up to 10, and book 3 is called 10 Lively Lorikeets, which helps children to learn to subtract from 10, just in a really simple and subtle way. And they're all of them, this book and the others, are full of native Australian animals and plants, which I love, and that's why they've been endorsed by Australian Geographic. That magpie comes into book 3 eventually. And I really love the fact that children can learn the basics of counting and also at the same time learn to name and recognise 30 different Australian native animals. The way to find out more about the books is to go to my website, gracenolanorther.com, and that way you can find out about the other 2 books as well. But today I'm going to be telling you about this book here, the first book. And I'm going to get my husband John to come and join me, and that way he can say a few things that I won't be saying, perhaps. Hi, John.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. I thought I was being invited to a lunch.
It's a launch,
It's a
John.
launch, yeah, so I've got to work. Okay, fine.
Yes.
All right. So, how are you feeling about having your book launched at the moment? Is it really good?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Was that the hard question you were going to ask me?
No. That's the easy question, just to ease you into it.
Okay.
Perhaps you'd like to say something about your inspiration for these books?
Oh, well, that's good. That's a good question, and that's easy for me. The simplest way I can answer that is nature is my big inspiration. I love being surrounded by nature. I love all animals and plants, and particularly Australian native animals and plants. So that's why my books are full of that. And it's part of what makes the books really beautiful. The other inspiration is that I've been a teacher for over 30 years, as we both have,
Yeah.
and too often I've seen children of all ages struggling with really basic numeracy and literacy, and I really wanted to do something about that to help them. And it's just something they might have missed out on or not be ready for, and it didn't give them something to build on. And I feel if they're given something really good to build on, something that they understand, then it takes them further on to enjoy learning more things and understanding more difficult concepts. So that's been part of my inspiration for this series as well.
It's certainly a very attractive book. I mean, bright
Yes.
covers and
I
the
agree.
glossy paper inside. I think kids
Yes.
will love going back to it and rereading it. But
Yes.
are there other ways it's been designed specifically for learning?
Yes, that's a good question, John, because something I'm really keen about is that books should be entertaining and enjoyable, especially for children, but for all of us. But if you want it to be used as a learning and teaching aid, it needs to have certain elements in it. Well, it's better if it has certain elements. And one of those things is repetition, because it needs to be repeated over and over, but in different interesting ways so that children can learn and remember. For example, I don't know, I could open up to any page I suppose, but let's say this one. It shows the number 5, the word 5. It's got 5 dingoes that you can count. It's got 5 gum leaves in the corner that you can count. So it's showing the number in many different ways. And that way it's reinforcing that number for a child. I'll just try and get that page that's your favourite, John. For example, here you've got number 8, the word 8. You've got 8 swans to count.
The 8 leaves up in the corner again.
You've got 5 crowns.
No, 8 crowns.
I mean 8, sorry. I need to learn it. Go on, John.
8 crowns, 8 beaks.
And 8 lifesavers.
8 lifesavers as well. Good.
Yes. So that sort of repetition. And the other important thing is predictability. which is really important and children love, so that they can join in and try to guess what comes next, and that way they can really be part of it and engage in it. And that's part of this book as well. Another thing that I was really keen about was to have clear text and uncluttered pages. I think that's really important to help children to learn and remember. And again, on any page, just clear font on a fairly simple background so that you can see the text really easily, and children can eventually join in and actually start to recognise the words as well.
I think the structure of the sentence is good too, because it remains the same throughout, with the number, then an adjective followed by the name of the animal that's in the picture.
Good. Yeah. Yes, and what I wanted to say is a sort of a fairly plain text as the background. So we've got sort of showing the number in a lot of different ways. The other thing that's really important to me is a rhyming text for this sort of thing, so that you've got rhyme, rhythm and alliteration, which I absolutely love, and it's a way that really helps children to learn and remember. It's the way that we all, let's say, going back through the ages, learned to read and write before people could read and write. It's the way that they pass things down through the generations, through rhyme mainly, because it's interesting to listen to, it's easy to remember, and that's the way it is for children who don't know how to read and write yet. So it's a way for them to be able to join in with the text and repeat it, remember it, and it's nice to listen to.
I like the double page format as well.
Oh yes, well that was something I was very keen on having, and that was the landscape format, which gives plenty of space for movement across the page, and to be able to stay on that same number right across for the 2 pages, so that you can show it in a lot of different ways, and it keeps reinforcing that concept, that number.
So there's lots of learning going on every page.
Yes.
Are there teachers' notes for this?
Oh, that's a good question, John. Yes, there are plenty of teachers' notes. All you have to do is go to my website, and there are teachers' notes for each individual book, which include a couple of worksheets so children can colour in and just enjoy being part of it, the learning of the numbers.
So that might be useful for parents too, if they're reading the book to their children.
Yes.
And what about these other 2 books you mentioned? When are they due for release?
They're both due on the same date, the 7th of April, coming up.
So
yes.
I'm coming for lunch on the 7th of April.
Maybe you'll get a lunch that day,
Maybe
I don't
I'll get
know.
lunch that day.
We'll
okay.
see.
All right. So perhaps we need to tell people where they can buy this.
Well, that's a good idea, John. Yes.
Okay, so we'll just quickly go through the best places to buy the books. And the first one, of course, is the webpage, gracenollanauthor.com. There's a buy button up in the top right-hand corner, and you can buy the book through there. Or you can go to some of the big online retailers like Booktopia, Amazon, of course, and Dymocks, other big bookstores that you find in shopping centres like QBD Books. Readings have it available. Also, Angus and Robertson. In fact, just go to your local bookstore and ask them if they could get it in for you if they don't have it, or ask at your local library so they can buy it and put it on the shelf so everybody gets to enjoy it.
Yes, I'm sure if you went and asked at any bookstore or library, they would get it in for you and it wouldn't be any problem at all.
Now, I heard a rumour about a free book. Is this true?
That's right. I'm glad you're here, John, to remind me of these things. I'm going to be giving away 1 free signed copy at the end of this book launch. So if you want to be in that draw, all you have to do is put a like on the Facebook or something like that. Something nice, that is.
Definitely a like. Okay.
Oh, one thing I didn't mention was that the activities pages at the end also are in rhyme, so that it's part of the whole text, so that it's easy for children to listen to and enjoy.
So it's this sort of thing.
Yes, it's just a nice sort of rhyming thing, so that it's like a song that runs through the whole book.
So will you include that in the reading?
Yes, I will. I will at the end, which is now.
Which is now.
I think I might read the book right now.
I'll leave you to that.
Thanks, John. I'll come back into the centre. 10 naughty numbats. And every single page, as you'll see, is absolutely beautiful. One playful platypus swimming in a stream. Two cute koalas having happy dreams. Three bouncy kangaroos hopping up and down. Four wobbly wombats digging in the ground. Five daring dingo pups wrestling with each other. Six blue kingfishers, see what they discover. Seven perky possums playing in a tree. Eight graceful black swans gliding on the sea. Nine shy echidnas, look what they have found. 10 naughty numbats racing round and round. And that's the end of the text, or the main text. And now for the fun learning activities. Count to 10, then try again. 10 happy best friends, see them having fun. Can you count them up to 10? Begin at number 1. 10 hungry best friends gathered here again. Can you count them in a line from 1 right up to 10? 10 cheeky best friends are playing hide and seek. Can you find each one of them, starting from the creek? Now that you can count to 10, what do you see? Count the naughty numbats beneath the gum tree. And that's the end. But it's not really the end. I think it's the beginning, because there are so many different ways of using this book to help children to learn and to enjoy learning, which is really what I'm interested in and keen about. So I really want to say thank you to all my family and friends for supporting me right throughout this. Thank you so much, and to all my Facebook friends too. I really appreciate it all. And I want to say a really big thank you to Nancy Bevington, who's made this book so beautiful with her gorgeous illustrations. I mean, I can open absolutely any page. I love all of the pages, and it's just, every single one is just so beautiful, and there's so much to see really. And for example, here you've got the 6 fish to count and all sorts of lovely things that are here, and that Nancy has used to put in her sense of humour as well, and I absolutely love it all. So thank you, Nancy, for that. And I want to thank Big Sky Publishing for everything that they've done to make this happen, so that I have the book right here in my hand instead of just something that's written on paper that no one else gets to see. So thank you very much, Big Sky, and all the team there, especially to Alison Marlowe Patterson, who's an author in her own right. I've been in touch with her nearly every day for a whole year. She's absolutely wonderful. And the whole team at Big Sky Publishing, thank you very much for everything. They're a fantastic team. So thank you all for that. And I just want to say, please buy the book and read it and enjoy it. And I hope that you enjoy it as much as I've loved writing it and showing you and just being part of it all with you. So thank you very much, everyone. I look forward to seeing you again in April for books 2 and 3. And I hope in the meantime that you'll get this book and share it with kids, share it with each other, and just enjoy it. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.